Sibling duels are pretty common. We all have moments in our lives when we just want to tear our siblings' face off. But kick things up a notch when the siblings consider they might take up their issues in the ring. So we were excited to hear that Jake Paul believes he will eventually face his brother Logan in the ring. Let's see what he had to say. For starters, are we going to get a siblings face-off? For most of us, our first real opponent was our sibling. We're sure most of you have memories from your childhood when you would convert your bedroom into a ring and go face-to-face with that one person who seemed your greatest competitor. It was all fun and games until our parents would walk in. It's a fond memory to recall, and we're sorry we're getting a little nostalgic, but the situation calls for it, because these two social media superstars are all set to dash it out in the ring, or at least that may be the case some years down the lane. But think about it, folks. A WWE pro wrestler and a professional boxer coming face-to-face sounds like an interesting combination, don't you think? Fans seem to agree, and it's not only fans, every media. But we wonder how they feel about this. Coming up next, what do the brothers have to say? Okay, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We keep talking about what we want, but what do the brothers want? You see, folks, we'd like to believe that we're what Gen Z would refer to as a bunch of empaths, and so it's only fair if we paint a picture of how everyone feels about the situation. So let's look at what Logan Paul had to say about this in a recent interview. Paul recently opened up about how he feels towards his brother, and we must say it was endearing to hear from him. You see, Paul believes that he's a man with a mission, and he wishes to fulfill that mission with a dedication that's almost religious. His purpose on earth was to entertain, and entertainment is literally what keeps the masses alive, so it's a noble mission to have. Now, Logan is a calculating man, and he knows that going face-to-face with his brother in the ring is bound to be a spectacle for the masses. It's just another stepping stone to fulfilling his life's goal. But despite the grandeur of the idea, our boy is still on the fence about the whole thing. Up next, what's holding them back? Now, you're probably wondering, why would these two brothers who have made it their life goal to create as much uproar in every single industry they enter not want to create the same noise that they know would be created if they were ever to fight? Well, Logan didn't outright deny the possibility of this happening. He just gave a bunch of reasons for what's holding him back. And that's okay, Logan. We all have second thoughts. You can take your time with this. The thing is, Logan recognizes that the two of them have very different fighting styles, different coaches, and different training schedules. He genuinely doesn't think they're in the same league. The two brothers do often trash talk, and both of them believe they are superior. Of course they do, but then again, they'd rather live with the illusion of their superiority than find out. Sometimes the truth is best when it's hidden. Don't you all agree, folks? But even if at some point the two do want to let their curiosity get the best of them, the biggest obstacle holding them back is their mom. The two of them are definitely mommy's boys, and she doesn't really want them to fight. And again, she's not the only fan. Even daddy disapproves. Him and every other person who's actually close to them. If so many of their loved ones disapprove, it might be for good reason. Let's look at the chances of it actually happening. But despite of all this, Logan is positive that they're probably going to eventually have a face-off in their career. So don't get too sad, folks. The super fight will take place. We just don't know when, how, or where, but have faith it will happen. These brothers have literally been the most unpredictable so far. We can always count on them to surprise us. Logan just wants to take a few years for them to grow better than individuals before having their face-off, and we think that makes perfect sense. He talked about Jake as that part of him he can never fully act on. Jake is a rebel against and through. As if the tattoos didn't give it away, and Logan is the do-gooder angel of the family. We all know that while Logan wants to follow the rules, Jake wants to create his own, and they're both unique in their own way. This is something that Logan also confirmed in a recent interview, but if the devil and the angel are going to fight in the ring together, we think it's worth the wait. Up next, where do the brothers stand right now? You'd be surprised to hear that as different as these siblings are, and as competitive as they can get, the two of them are actually incredibly supportive of one another. They have each other's back always. Doesn't matter if it's outside the ring or inside it. This much was made clear when Logan mentioned that he's going to be at his brother's ringside in all his upcoming matches. Logan mentioned that he's been helping his brother train. This is all a little sweet, don't you think? And he has enough confidence in his brother and their training together to know that Jake Paul can do the unthinkable. Wow, don't you wish you had siblings who had so much confidence in you? We know we do. Following this, who is Jake Paul up against? So far, we've only talked about how Logan feels feels about this. We think it's only fair to give the troublemaker of the family a little space to share his sentiments too. But it's funny because his vision differs a little from his brother's. The thing about Jake is that he's on a winning streak right now, with a spectacular 5-0 record. He's only slowly gaining popularity in the world of WWE. At this point in his career, he's a regular name at SmackDown. And we know what that means because we still remember our favorite Raw and SmackDown wrestlers. So essentially, the problem child is busy running into one problem after another. And another one of his problems is his upcoming fight. And to be fair, folks, this one is a genuine problem because Paul is up against a man who's not only 22 years older, but is also regarded as the greatest striker in MMA UFC history. That's right, folks, we're talking about Anderson Silva. Next up, let's hear more about Spider versus the problem child. See, now this makes for a very interesting face-off. While one of them has youth and agility, the other has years of experience. It must be a daunting prospect for Paul, who is literally still technically a newbie in the world of boxing, to get into the ring with someone who's been boxing ever since Paul barely knew what the term meant. But then again, as striking as the striker is, he's been defeated before, and it can happen again. So far, all we know is that the fight is all set to happen on the 29th of October, and it will be held in Arizona. So if you're planning to watch it, you better clear your schedules and get ready to pay since, of course, entertainment can't always be free. That's our job, and this one is pay-per-view. Finally, how does Jake feel? Yes, finally. Let's give space for his feelings. The thing is, Jake has a reputation to maintain, and even when he's scared out of his mind, he never admits it. As far as the upcoming fight is concerned, he's apparently been training regularly and is fully pumped about the prospect of squishing the Spider. That's what you'd expect from the problem child, wouldn't you? But amid all of this, he still wants to at some point fight his brother too. For Jake, beating Logan would be a greater victory than anything in the world, because it would give him the one thing that no other fight can. It's dinner table bragging rights. Come on, folks, we'd fight for bragging rights too. But again, the reason Jake is holding back is that he doesn't want to damage the relationship he has with his older bro, because despite the trash talk, the two really love each other. How sweet. So for the time being, his focus is all set on the match that's coming up next and nothing else. That's a wrap for this video. Would you like to see the two brothers compete? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. See you in the next one.